Now at 9, Joplin police investigate an afternoon shooting that sent one man to the hospital. Plus, how the city of Joplin is honoring a fallen hero. And some local organizations celebrate the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. A man is rushed to the hospital after an afternoon shooting in Joplin. Police received a call of gunshots at 1201 East Hill Street before 4 this afternoon. That's where they found a man with gunshot injuries. They say he was considered to be in critical condition. Police have not yet made any arrests. Joplin police say a body was found in Cunningham Park, but the death does not seem to be suspicious. Police say a passerby noticed the body around 7:20 this morning near a trolley stop in the park and then called 911. When officers arrived, they found the body of a middle-aged man. Authorities have not yet released the identity of the body, but say the initial investigation does not find the death to be suspicious. Meteorologist Doug Ketty joining us now. Done with this heat, Doug. And we broke a record today, huh?
Yeah, it's super hot outside for us today. We soared all the way up through the triple digits. Hottest temp so far this summer, 107 degrees, the old record, and 104 set way back in 1952. In fact, today was day number 16 this summer that we have seen the triple digit heat. Look at the little isolated thunderstorms popping up right along a couple little boundaries, but you can see one just on the southwest side of Pittsburgh, a little guy west of Parsons, south of Fredonia. And our rain chances are actually going to increase over the next few days, and the temperatures are going to go down. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you as always. Joplin today took time to remember a fallen hero. Police and others gathered for a moment of silence, also prayer, in honor of Corporal Ben Cooper. Today would have been his birthday. He would have been 47 years old. Corporal Cooper, one of 3 members of the Joplin Police Department who were shot on March 8th. He and Officer Jake Reed did not survive. Joplin Mayor Doug Lawson proclaimed today Corporal Ben Cooper today and ordered flags flown at half-staff. Now, March 9th is now dedicated to Officer Reed in honor of his birthday. It can be difficult to find a place when being in an abusive relationship. KOAM's Yana Hatala spoke to an abusive survivor about her experience.
They don't want to leave the property, so you have no choice. If you want out of that situation, you have no choice but to leave.
A Joplin resident, Jamie Lindsay, is lucky she got out of an abusive relationship, but it was not easy.
It's a gradual thing, so abusers don't just immediately start abusing. They kind of gradually, over time, over years, they'll start gradually taking control over you and manipulating you and trying to control all these different aspects of your life. It's an abusive situation, so we always usually go back and then try to leave again.
While dealing with the issues at home, she had to start saving money for an apartment.
I still had to save my own money to be able to get out of the situation.
With rent prices going up, it took her a while to actually be able to move out.
I just had to save money, live poor off ramen noodles as much as I could, and get out.
Luckily, she was able to find a place after a while with a helpful landlord. Jamie knew about the Lafayette house in Joplin, but did not think her situation was severe enough to ask for help.
I didn't understand what I was going through was actually abuse at the time.
Brooke Powell from Safe House Crisis Center recommends everyone to ask for help in any kind of abusive situation.
The first thing, reach out. Reach out. Don't feel like you have to do this alone. If it's just a housing issue and you're not facing violence, reach out to, different organizations like Salvation Army and Wesley House, because they will have some resources to maybe help guide you. And if it is a violence issue, reach out to us and help. We're hoping that we can help guide you through this process.
Being in a situation like that and surviving a situation like that, I commend anybody that has done those things.
In Joplin, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
Anyone in a difficult situation can contact, of course, the Safe House Crisis Center. Some local organizations are celebrating the anniversary of a piece of legislation that has improved the lives of millions of Americans. KOAM's Amber Jenkins was at one of these celebrations in Nevada, Missouri, and Amber has more.
Tuesday is the 32nd anniversary of Congress passing the Americans with Disabilities Act. On My Own, an independent living service in Nevada, Missouri, is celebrating the anniversary by informing the community.
Americans with disabilities, they need to understand and know their rights. So this is a great event to remind you of those, to educate you, to show you kind of the history of the ADA.
The Americans with Disabilities Act created a more accessible country for all Americans.
Employment and other things are more accessible to not only people with disabilities, but also the other population as well.
Even after 32 years, the fight for rights and resources is still continuing. Organizations like On My Own are still advocating for the disability community.
Well, of course, funding is always an issue, and it seems like they kind of fall through the cracks in this organization, and so we're going to get a meeting set up for her to come to Jefferson City and maybe get her with the people that can help with that.
On My Own pride themselves on advocating for others and being a community resource. They work with the city of Nevada to make their community more accessible.
We work really well with our city and county. They have made changes to our sidewalks and our curbs and things like that. And so we work with them on a regular basis to make things more accessible for people with disabilities.
In Nevada, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
To get involved with On My Own, just head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, for a link. Skill Resource Center in Parsons, Kansas is also celebrating. The Disability Advocacy Organization is recognizing the 32nd anniversary of the ADA, as well as their own 30th anniversary. Several organizations, including police, fire department, and Labette Health, showed up to celebrate. Some live music, food, drinks, snow cones. Good on a day like today, right? Also ice cream were some of the treats that were free to the public.
In 32 years, it's a long time. We still have a lot of work to do. But if you walk down the sidewalks, you notice there's curb cuts, and you notice braille on signage, and you notice people with disabilities working in our community. So we've come a long way, and it's really, really nice to see and celebrate those victories, even though we know we still have work to do.
Skill is an advocacy organization that supports people with disabilities by helping remove barriers to housing and employment. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time to honor another four-state hero. Thurland Van Tassel served in the U.S. Coast Guard. Native of Pittsburgh, Van Tassel traveled the Atlantic and Pacific waters during World War II. We are proud to thank and salute Thurland Van Tassel. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Heddy's next with a complete look at the forecast a bit later. Pitt State, Missouri Southern football heading to Kansas City for MIAA Media Day. Going to hear from them both in sports.
Well, of course, smoking hot for us today. Temperatures record high, 107, hottest temp we have seen so far this summer. Hopefully we don't make a run at that anytime soon over the next month and a half or so that we have left of summer across the region. Look at the monthly recap, just 2 days below normal, but look at this stretch from last Sunday. Look at the triple-digit heat. So today was day number 16. So let's compare this to some other very hot summers. So here are how many times these years that we've hit 100 degrees by July 26. 1954, 21 times. 1980, 21 times. 2011 and 12, we were at 15. And then already we've hit 16. So we are up there in that range, at least in the top 10 of hottest summers on record so far. Temperatures right now a little bit cooler, Kansas into southwestern Missouri due to some isolated thunderstorms, which we need. You can still see enough light here to see the rain shaft in some of these storms, mainly just to the northwest of the city. 93, humidity is at 36%, but look at these little guys that have popped up. You can see this little line right there that drops south. Little outflow boundary, so we get these little guys that pop up, kind of like a little cold front, mini cold front wind shift line. Now that the sun is setting, we are losing the heat of the day, or the heating of the day, so these will start to back off. But this little guy just south of Pittsburgh, just north of Columbus, so Asbury, Carl Junction right here, kind of drifting a little bit off toward the south and to the east. We have a couple more little guys. One just to the west of Parsons, another one just to the south of Fredonia. But at least we're getting something on the radar because it has been so dry. Most of the storms tonight will stay to our north near Kansas City. But it's this system, these waves, that are going to start to head toward us over the next few days. Let's go through time. Any isolated thunderstorms we have out there right now will fall apart. Late tonight into tomorrow morning, northern counties, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. Hit and miss through the morning hours. I think very isolated tomorrow. Most of us staying dry. We heat up near 100 degrees once again. 78 start, 94 by noon. High temp of 100. Better chances for rain. This is going to roll in tomorrow night, especially after midnight. Here's 12:30, and then scattered thunderstorms into Thursday morning. So this is really good to see that we are getting those better rain chances in the forecast over the next few days. On top of that, we get some relief from the heat. 100 tomorrow, 90 on Thursday, 82 on Friday, 81 Saturday. The best chances for rain are going to be from Thursday until Saturday evening. And then, of course, the heat returns, really sets back in by the middle of next week. But this break is going to be nice to see.
Yeah, no kidding. Don't get me wrong. Today's record-breaking temperature was noteworthy, but I am totally cool with some records just sitting put.
Yeah, I know.
We don't have to break them.
Nobody wants to hit record highs unless it's winter.
Yeah.
So,
just leave it be.
Yeah.
Doug, thank you so much. As Doug was talking about, rain in our neck of the woods, forested area. Coming up, other parts of Missouri already saw rain, too much of it.
Historic flooding in the Midwest this morning, leaving parts of Missouri underwater. I'm William LaJeunesse with the story coming up.
Shows COVID long haulers are experiencing a longer list of symptoms, including hair loss and sexual dysfunction. A study published in Nature Medicine looked at health records of 2.4 million people, identified 62 symptoms, often falling into three main categories: respiratory symptoms, mental health, and cognitive problems. The data suggests females, younger people, and black and brown patients are at greater risk of developing long COVID. Recent research from Mount Sinai shows black patients are 6 times more likely to have advanced vision loss after glaucoma diagnosis than white patients. The study, published in Translational Vision Science and Technology, started decades ago, analyzed nearly 210,000 participants over the age of 40. The findings emphasize the importance of stepping up early screening to prevent blindness. All right, the video in this next story is crazy. It's unbelievable because here in the 4 states, right, we're going through such bad heat. We're in a drought. It's dry. Storms moving through the Midwest, though, different part of the Midwest, dropping historic amounts of rain in Missouri, specifically flooding in the St. Louis metro area, leaving many scrambling to find safer ground this morning. Fox News national correspondent William LaJeunesse has these details.
All I could see was water. It was up waist deep, past waist, right here.
A flash flood emergency in Missouri Tuesday morning after more than 7 inches of rainfall in a matter of hours. A line of steady thunderstorms moving through the region, with rainfall setting all-time records in St. Louis. The previous record, set in 1915, followed a hurricane in Galveston, Texas.
The one thing that helped us here is the level of the Mississippi River was very low because of the long stretch without rain. So this water is going to leave very quickly, but it's still very dangerous as it's leaving.
The National Weather Service reporting rainfall rates between 1 and 3 inches per hour, with some isolated areas seeing up to 5 inches.
I woke up to my basement being, just inundated with water, and the water came all the way up from the basement to the ceiling and into the first floor.
The rainfall swelling rivers and creeks, shutting down 4 major interstates in the area and washing out roads, trapping some in their cars and homes. One man doing everything he could to get his children to safety.
I was getting my kids out of the house. I had to put them on a door I ripped out, and swam them from where that SUV is all the way over to here.
Crews across the St. Louis metro area conducted water rescues. One driver rescued after rains had swept his car off the road into a nearby creek. Police report 1 fatality so far and have warned residents to remain inside their homes. In Los Angeles, William LaJeunesse, Fox News.
Still ahead, Trump and Pence in D.C.
Former President Donald Trump marks his return to Washington, D.C. with a high-profile speech just hours after his former vice president delivered his own remarks in the nation's capital. I'm Mather Rivera in Washington with the details coming up.
Hulu is not running certain political ads, and some Democratic campaign groups aren't happy about it. The Democratic group say they tried to buy a joint ad on abortion rights and gun control to run on Hulu, but they were turned down. The same ad ran on other popular platforms like YouTube, Roku, and Facebook. The Democratic group say they reached out to Hulu to find out why the ad was rejected. They say they were told, quote, it was due to content-related issues. Former President Trump back in D.C. more than a year after leaving office. He delivered a speech to supporters at an America First summit. His remarks coming hours after former Vice President Mike Pence also spoke at a nearby event in the nation's capital. Their dueling speeches getting the attention of former White House advisors who speculate about their plans for 2024 and whether their relationship is fractured after the January 6th Capitol riot. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports now from Washington.
In his first trip to Washington, D.C. since leaving office, former President Donald Trump delivered remarks that sounded more like a campaign speech.
This November, the people are going to vote to stop the destruction of our country, and they're going to vote to rescue America's future.
Hours earlier, his former Vice President Mike Pence spoke at a separate event in the nation's capital. The moment offering a split screen as speculation grows that the two could run against each other in 2024. On Tuesday, Pence downplayed divisions between him and his former boss, but he did still try to distance himself.
I don't know that the president and I differ on issues, but we may differ on focus. I truly do believe that elections are about the future.
Their speeches come as the January 6th committee investigates the mob that stormed the Capitol after Pence rejected Trump's calls to overturn the 2020 election results. Pence's former chief of staff confirms he testified in front of a grand jury investigating the attack. As Trump and Pence inch toward a potential 2024 showdown, some political experts say Democrats are struggling with their own conflicts, including over who to lead the party.
Democrats are extremely worried about their ability to win in 2024.
The January 6th committee is planning to hold more hearings in September, but Trump is pressing on with his rallies and continuing to showcase his overwhelming influence on the Republican Party. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Lego taking creativity to a whole new level. Go learn how Lego builders can now make their own mini figure.
Friday.
Lego is letting you design your own minifigure. It's pretty cool, isn't it? The company launching its online minifigure factory here in the U.S. Lets you create a minifigure of yourself. You pick the heads, legs, torso, and accessories to your liking. The custom-made minifigures cost about $12 and can be made over at Lego.com. Saw this story and I thought, that'd be a good birthday gift idea for someone who's really into Legos, right? 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. Going to hear from some four-staters on what they would do if they won the $800 million Mega Millions prize. Also, some tips on maintaining a garden during this intense heat. Doug says he buys lottery tickets, what, 3 times a week? 3 times a week?
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times a week. I don't consider myself, lucky enough to win money like this. The Mega... It's for retirement. All right, the Mega Millions lottery is back, and many people are hoping to win in order to fulfill their lifelong dreams. The current prize up for grabs is more than $800 million. KOAM Sagoon Badamali went to North Park Mall in Joplin to see what folks there would do with this kind of money.
I think I'd travel, spend more time with kids and more family time, and just relax.
The Mega Million Lottery is at its highest it has ever been. What would you do? Today, we're at the North Park Mall asking people, what would you do if you found out that you won the Mega Millions?
I would give my church a bunch of money.
I'd probably buy a big, nice house.
I'll go to Egypt. I'll go to Egypt right now.
I don't know where, but I'd definitely take a trip somewhere. Cool. I'd go shopping.
I think I'd want a new car, a new house, and maybe a new diamond ring.
Pay off all my family's debt.
Probably buy a new house, and then I would share my money with my family.
Only 3 bigger jackpots have ever been won in any lottery game. In Joplin, Shagun Bamdele, KOAM News.
So there you have it. The winning numbers are going to be announced tonight, 10 p.m. Central. It's coming up. This is a neat story right here. The founder of a fast food chain buys Mega Millions tickets for each of the company's 50,000 employees. Yeah, that place. Raising Cane's founder and former CEO Todd Graves buying the tickets. The company's current CEO, AJ Kerman, says the process of buying the tickets took about 7 to 8 hours. Lottery tickets can only be bought with cash. They have to go to several gas stations and several banks throughout the process. Socializing and taking part in conversation is key to quality of life, but both can be difficult for anyone living with even minor hearing loss. Every month, Freeman Health System hosts speakers for its Health Wise series. Today, Dr. David Anthony of Freeman Hearing Center discussed the latest in hearing test and aid technology.
Typically within hearing aids there are a lot of different preset functions that the hearing aid might detect that I'm in a difficult situation, and then it will make a few changes on its own. And then there are also user features that if you feel like I need some help in a specific environment, then I can manipulate this device to either through manual manipulation of the device or with my smartphone.
Dr. Anthony also says make sure the hearing aid you end up buying is legit, as there are a lot of fakes out there. Just don't work as well in the long run. Things that are free are great, right? Free necessities are the best because they're necessary, right? Get my drift here. Students in Quapaw and Commerce, Oklahoma had the chance to pick up some free necessities, school supplies. Caregivers had to present proof of residence, though, such as a utility bill.
We know that this time of year is hard, especially when you have several kids you have to buy school supplies for. The school supply list is long. We can't fulfill everything on the list, but we can at least give the families a good start.
Free hot dogs were also given out. Today's event was supplied by Quapaw Family Services. Some candidates in the upcoming Missouri election met with constituents today. The Republican women of Newton County and the Newton County Republican Central Committee hosted a free watermelon feed in Neosho. At the feed, all the candidates were given 3 minutes to discuss their platform.
The thing is that they hear the candidates and they get to visit with the candidates one-on-one. And so the candidates are here and working amongst the crowd. Get to talk to the candidates one-on-one, get to know them, get to see them, and then we get to see them speak up here for 3 minutes each.
That election in the Show Me State is coming up. It's going to be in 1 week on August 2nd. With record-breaking highs and ongoing heat throughout the summer, it's made gardening even harder. You need some skill to begin with, but even more skill, it seems. KOAM's Jalen Banks caught up with some gardeners and how they've adapted in the summer heat.
This summer, we have seen over 10 days of triple-digit heat in the 4 states, making it a tough summer for anyone with a garden.
Last year, we probably watered our garden once a week, maybe a couple times a week, where right now we're watering our garden every day, and it's for a couple hours in each section every day.
The heat has been no friend to produce, with only a few able to withstand the ongoing blaze.
Zucchini and squash love this kind of heat. They may continue, but that's really about all I can say about it. There's really not very many vegetables that can tolerate 100-degree weather for a month.
Throughout the challenges, gardeners have found ways to adapt.
Last year, we probably watered our garden once a week, maybe a couple times a week, where right now we're watering our garden every day, and it's for a couple hours in each section every day.
This summer has led to them to plan ahead for years to come.
Nearly everything would appreciate some shade right now in the late afternoon. So if you can bring your plant inside, if you can stick up an umbrella, if you can prop up a bed sheet, if you have some trees to plant next to for future years to think about. We use some sunflowers, and I'll plant those, and I know those are going to grow up and provide shade for the plants.
Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
All right, a bit later, the WNBA player stuck in Russia.
It's the latest court appearance for a high-profile American detained in Russia. I'm Greg Talcott in London. That's my story coming up.
Well, of course, super hot for us today. Hottest day we have seen in 2022. It's not usually something we really strive to hit, but 107 for us this afternoon. It's been a smoking hot summer so far. It's definitely top 6 or 7 hottest summers on record, of course. Records go back to about here in Joplin, 1930s or so, at least the more reliable ones. But look at this stretch of triple-digit heat. We've hit 115 times this month, 16 times this summer. 1954 by this point in time on the calendar date, 21 times, much of the same in 80. Those were 2 smoking hot summers. 2011 and 12 hot as well. We hit 115 times by this date. And of course, 16 for us today. All right, look at the temps. We got these little wind shift line. These are little outflow boundaries, and with it, we've had some pop-up little thunderstorms, anywhere from lower 80s to lower 90s, about a 10-degree spread across the region. Let's go to the airport, sitting at 93, south winds 5 to 10, humidity at 36%. But check this out. Look at these little isolated storms. I think this is pretty cool, but look at the little boundary. It drops south, it interacts, boom, you get some thunderstorms. Now, because the sun is set, these are starting to fizzle apart, which kind of stinks. We still have a little cluster on the east side of Pittsburgh and then down toward 171, just to the north of Asbury. Had a lot of rain, heavy rain, a little bit of lightning as well. So these are going to calm down. Up to the north is where the thunderstorms are going to get going. These are going to kind of clip into our northern counties again later on tonight. But the overall theme here is we're getting these waves and they're getting closer to us. It's going to give us some rain chances and also cool us down. Heaviest rain stays north tonight. We'll have some scattered thunderstorms in the morning hours north of I-44. Then a few hit and miss isolated storms through the day. Most of you will stay dry tomorrow. Temperatures are going to press 100. I-44 and south. Northern counties will stay a little bit cooler into lower 90s. Not cool, but a little bit cooler. 94 by noon, high temp of 100. Tomorrow night after midnight, this is when our better chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms will start to increase into Thursday morning. These are going to be a lot more widespread. So you have a better opportunity of getting some rain into Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, we clear out. Thursday night into Friday, look at this, we do it again. More scattered showers and thunderstorms. So hopefully we can put a little bit of a dent in the moderate to severe drought we have across the region. 100 tomorrow, look at the temps going down. 90 Thursday, 82 Friday, 81 Saturday. With some rain, cooler temperatures, we'll definitely take it because the 100s are going to return. So we need a little bit of a break here.
Thanks for the preparation. It'll be a nice breather though while it lasts.
It'll be great.
Okay, thank you so much. Hey, the future is looking an awful lot like the past. Fox News correspondent Jackie Bonnier says a special look at a modern, sustainable airship hoping to revolutionize the way we travel.
It might look like something out of the 1920s, but this definitely isn't your great-grandma's blimp. British-based aviation company Hybrid Air Vehicles is taking inspiration from old-school airships and elevating them to new heights with the Airlander.
It's designed to deliver 10 tons of freight, 100 passengers, and to deliver them to places or take them to places at only 10% the emissions of other aircraft.
The first commercial flights are expected to begin in 2026, with Spanish airline Air Nostrum already reserving 10 Airlanders to regionally transport people across various cities. And officials at Hybrid Air Vehicles are promising customers a sustainable travel experience, with the first models of the Airlander boasting impressive hybrid technology.
It'll be the first aircraft in its class to actually have hybrid electric propulsion and ultimately all electric propulsion in a zero-emission aircraft.
The crafts are more than 300 feet long, can stay in the air for a total of 5 days, and can travel roughly 4,000 nautical miles at a time. And because its hull is filled with helium, it requires less power to take off than standard aircraft, while offering a lot more room to stretch out and unwind.
Every seat is accessible to the aisle. You can move around. Big windows, flying much lower. It's very gentle.
Meanwhile, if you're worried about turbulence, officials say the sheer size and low cruising altitude of the Airlander helps it withstand large gusts. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Coming up in sports, going to hear from both Pitt State and Missouri Southern at today's MIAA Football Media Day. Plus, Joplin Outlaws hitting the field against Jeff City, aiming to move on to the Mink League Championship Series. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Your vacation.
Today is MIAA Football Media Day in Kansas City. All 12 teams in the league hit the podium today to talk about the season and take questions from the media, including Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern. Our own Danny Terzer was in Kansas City and has more from the Lions and Gorillas.
We're 37 days away from the college football season, and today is MIAA Media Day in Kansas City. Players and coaches from Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State are here to talk about the upcoming season.
When I took this job about 18 months ago, I knew it was a process. I knew it was something that was going to require a lot of time and energy, and it paid off, and we took some steps to really start to turn this thing around.
The day after Fort Hays last year, I felt like this staff and this football team really committed to coming together and finding ways to finish out games.
Pitt State was picked to finish third in the MIAA preseason coaches poll. They're coming off an 8-3 record and still not satisfied.
Certainly building off of a good season, good enough to win 8 games. And that's not the goal at Pittsburgh State, however. And that's not what all these guys work for.
Finishing 8-3, that left a sour taste in our mouth. So coming into the summer and the spring and everything, we knew what we had to do. And when it comes time, we'll be ready.
As for Missouri Southern, last year was their best season since 2014. Now in year 2 under Atiba Bradley, the Lions should find a rhythm.
These kids that have been on our team have had multiple coordinators over the past 2 and 3 years, and so for us to be able to provide the same coordinator, I think that's going to breed success. I think it's going to breed a confidence that we need to go up against a tough MIAA schedule.
Both Pitt State and Missouri Southern open their season at home on September 1st. PSU faces Central Missouri, and Missouri Southern plays Nebraska Kearney. In Kansas City, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
You can check out more comments from the Gorillas and Lions on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Joplin High School standout Always Wright has made his college decision. Wright announced tonight he'll be heading to NEO to play basketball for the Golden Norsemen next season. Wright is a 3-time All-COC selection for Joplin, including being a first-team All-COC pick as a senior last winter. And here he is on his decision to head to Miami and join the Norsemen.
NEO has been there from the beginning. They've been recruiting me for a year and a half now, so I felt like my loyalty kind of stuck with them, and they have great coaches and great facilities and just a great family atmosphere, so I felt like that stuck out to me. I'm a full qualifier, so my plan is to stay there for 1 year and then leave, so they set out the plan, set out the personal development for me, so I have full faith that they're going to get me to being the player I want to be.
Well, it is playoff time for the Joplin Outlaws. The Outlaws host the Jefferson City Renegades tonight in the Mink League South Division Championship. Now, the winner of this one moves on to the Mink League Championship Series. Now, Jeff City bases loaded in the third, but A.J. Moreno on the mound for Joplin gets the fly out to end the inning. Game is scoreless. Now in the fifth, the Renegades threatening again with 2 on. Moreno escapes again, getting the ground out. Game still scoreless at that point, but bottom of the fifth, Carl Junction, it's your guy, Carson Johnson, singles into center to score Tyler Davis. Davis fired up. Outlaws have their first lead of the night. Then in the 6th inning, 2 on for Jacob Machuca. This was a big swing here. Drills it up and out to right center for the 3-run homer. Joplin goes up 4-0. Outlaws go on to win at 4-2. They are now headed to the Mink League Championship Series. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
It's another court appearance for WNBA star Brittany Griner. Defense attorneys continued laying out their case today. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Pelcott has more.
American basketball star Brittany Griner returned to a Russian courtroom Tuesday for her trial on drug charges. The defense continued making its case for leniency. During the hour-long hearing, a narcologist brought in by Griner's lawyers said it's likely cannabis oil found in the athlete's luggage was used for medicinal purposes.
Pain relief, anti-inflammatory, and relaxing effects. All these 3 components are usually present in sports-related traumas.
Griner has said she was carrying vape canisters containing the oil when she was arrested at a Moscow airport in February. Medical marijuana is illegal in Russia. Although the 31-year-old athlete has pled guilty, she claims she did not intend to break Russian law.
We are still saying that she involuntarily brought it here because she She was in a rush, as she said, packing, and this medication, she just forgot to take it out of her luggage.
The two-time Olympic gold medalist arrived in court carrying photographs of her wife and a teammate. She faces a jail sentence of up to 10 years. Griner returns to court on Wednesday when she will answer questions from the judge and prosecutor. Defense attorneys hope testimony from Griner and medical experts will help bring the basketball star a mild sentence.
We do hope that the court will take it into consideration, and the courts in Russia, in fact, has very broad discretion with regard to the sentence.
Brittany Griner's lawyers expect the trial to wrap up early next month. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Just in case you missed the premiere, going to catch a new Marvel trailer. Hollywood Nation coming your way. Adele's big announcement is part of what's in store in today's Hollywood Nation. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Excitement builds, Adele returns, and Wakanda Forever in the Hollywood Nation. Saturday, the first look at Black Panther Wakanda Forever premiered, and by Sunday, it was one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's top trailers. According to Variety, the teaser trailer had 172 million views in 24 hours, making it one of the best debuts for an MCU superhero movie. I know there is hope. Adele's Las Vegas residency at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace is resuming November 18th through March 25th, with 24 rescheduled shows and 8 new ones. The Grammy winner posted on her socials saying she was heartbroken to have canceled earlier this year. After what feels like an eternity of figuring out logistics for the show that I really want to deliver and knowing it can happen, I'm more excited than ever. Adele postponed the residency in January, citing half her crew getting COVID and delivery delays.
Get ready for the ride of your life.
And in today's first looks, it's LEGO Masters Season 3. A trailer debuted at San Diego Comic-Con showcasing the fun in store, including guest stars, building themes, and
Brad Pitt, what are you doing here?
Brad Pitt, who's an executive producer. The series is also holding a new multiple night event, Celebrity Holiday Bricktacular.
You have no clue what you signed up for.
Season 3 debuts September 21st on Fox. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with video of blue penguin chicks at an Australian aquarium. Hey, be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.